There's not a lot I hate more than doing tile, but one thing I hate more than doing tile is talking about doing tile. So it's really fun to watch people do work on TV, right? Especially watching a tile backsplash go in. It looks so easy, and therefore so many people are tempted to do it themselves at home. They go to the store, they buy their tile, and then they start sticking it up and they realize, wait a minute, this is not as easy as it looks. So I want to give you a few pointers that are going to help you out to do a good job and not get in a bind when you decide to do your own DIY backsplash. So first off, you're gonna need to pick a spacer that you're gonna use. Today we use these nice little ones that look like cat food. It tastes about the same too. It's very important that you use a spacer even on your very first row of tile that will space the first tile above the countertop. That will allow you a place to have a grout joint. So about that grout joint, look, if the grout joint touches your countertop, you need to use grout caulk. Do not use regular grout because it will dry and crack eventually. When you slam down a 30-pound butterball turkey on this counter, it's gonna vibrate just the smallest amount, just enough to crack your joint in the grout between the counter and the tile. Most of the time, you can find a color-matched grout caulk that will match your grout color. It can be sanded, which will be a little bit textured to look like standard grout, or unsanded, which is gonna be very smooth and slick looking.
What am I gonna say about tile? Nothing.
So let's talk about outlets. You're gonna have an outlet if you're doing a backsplash in a kitchen. At least it's required in a new house. Take the outlet covers off, okay? Turn the electricity off to those outlets too, because there's a good chance you're gonna stick your finger in there and you're all wet because you've been cutting tile with a wet saw. Guess what? You can do the math.
I just nail it.
It would be a really bad mistake to butt the tile right against the edge of the faceplate. Plus, you would have to make a perfect cut. So the idea is to take the plate off, run the tile in behind the plate, put the plate back on, and then it covers your cut lines. All right, let's take a look at this little outlet right here. You can see that this thing has some little bunny ears on it. I just call them tabs, okay? When you tighten the screws on your outlet, the little tabs contact the wall, and that's what makes the outlet sort of rigid in place. So you need to let your tile extend just into the outlet box enough that these little tabs will catch when you reinstall the outlet. Most of the time, these screws are gonna be too short once you add the thickness of the tile to the drywall. You'll have to pull these 3/4 inch screws out and replace them with like 1.5 inches probably. Now here's a little tip for you. Glass tile is becoming more trendy than ever, available in all kinds of colors and shapes and sizes. Some of it, like this one, has a painted backing, okay? And some of it is just the glass is tinted or stained glass, and the glass is through and through a certain color. Now, this glass tile takes a special blade to cut. You need a specific glass tile cutting wet saw blade. If you don't have one of those and you try to cut it with a regular porcelain or ceramic cutting blade, it will chip out, it'll tear out, it'll explode. Who knows what'll happen? It'll be bad. So, be sure to get the right blade. I think the easiest way to stick this stuff is with a pre-mixed mortar mix here. This is white tile mortar, and it comes in this nice little bucket. You don't have to mix it up and get the consistency just right. You don't have to get out your giant paddle bit and be spinning, slinging stuff everywhere. And this bucket will do, well, we did this whole kitchen with less than one bucket. So, and it's only like 20 bucks a bucket. That's affordable in my mind. Makes the job easier. One of the worst telltale signs of an amateur tile job is an exposed edge that's cut and not covered with a bullnose or a piece of transition strip like this. This is a nice piece of Schluter strip. It's super sleek and clean, and any of the edges of the tile that are cut will be grouted and it'll be slick. So here's a little tip. Plan to have about twice as much time to do this as you think it's gonna take. Don't be tearing up your kitchen the day before Thanksgiving and thinking you're gonna remodel it right before dinner, okay? There's a lot of cutting and a lot of measuring, and there's not a lot of hole tiles that you stick on because you have outlets, you have cabinets, you have edges, you have corners, and all things to cut around that take extra time. So this really small kitchen with a small amount of backsplash took me 2 days to do with somebody helping me, and I've been doing tile for quite a long time. So just goes to show that just because it's a small area doesn't mean that you're gonna get it done fast. Well, that's all the help that I can offer today, but good luck with your tiling project. Maybe this was helpful for you. Peace out.
That better not go on the video is all I gotta say. I better get a raise if that goes on the video just so you know.